What is a waste of time? The myth of Sisyphus references two different yet connected things. On the one hand, many of you will picture the Greek legend of the man named Sisyphus. He's been depicted many times in pop culture. Some examples that come to mind are the game Hades, that one Quereka song, or one of the Percy Jackson books. I don't quite remember which one though. And if you don't know how the story goes, don't worry about it. No one really remembers either, to be honest. They mostly just remember poor old Sisyphus by what he was punished to do for the rest of his eternity. Push a rock up a hill over and over and over and over again. Thinking about it, that's probably one of the worst things you can make anyone do. Force them to perform a task over and over again, only for them to have to restart at the bottom, no matter how many ways, tries, or attempts it takes them. If you're curious as to why someone would ever be punished to do such a thing, well, that's because Greek gods don't mess around, especially when it comes to lying to their face and cheating death. I'll let you look up the rest of the story if you're truly curious. Now, on the other hand, if I bring up the myth of Sisyphus, few of you will start thinking about Albert Camus' essay. A real piece of work that touches on something he is quite famous for, his absurdism. No, not absurdity, absurdism. In what is probably one of my favorite books from high school, Camus' Stranger, or L'étranger in French, touches on this topic through the lens of its unfeeling and almost revoltingly cold protagonist, who experiences the world almost in gray. If you haven't given it a read, I recommend doing so. So, I'll ask again, what is a waste of time? Well, to be honest, right now, this video. You or me could be doing millions of other things right now. I could be studying for classes I'm doing mediocre in, working out to better myself, or tackling my 80 Canvas assignments due tomorrow. Laundry, cleaning my room, making and eating food that isn't the Chick-fil-A across the street. It's grilled, so it's okay, right? Sure, but I'm choosing to write this script, record this audio, and edit this video with the intention of you watching it. Am I still wasting your time? The answer is yes, but I'm glad that the people who stayed to listen are still here because, boy, do I have a few things to say to you. Anything, really, is a waste of time if you think about it with a really depressing and nihilistic point of view. What's the point? It won't matter later anyways. You're absolutely right. Nothing matters anyways because we will all be dead. Bravo! And a big wet kiss to you on the forehead for a job well done. Nothing matters because everything will be gone someday. Well, at least for you. That's where the idea of a legacy or leaving something behind comes from. By making and creating something that others can experience long after you are gone is a way for people to justify their purpose so that they can be remembered post-mortem. In other words, always remember that you will die, so you gotta leave something behind. Memento mori. Almost. Except that's still too depressing. You don't want to be living your life for the sake of something else, someone else. You want to do things that make you happy, that let you be free. You want to live in the moment. You want to buy that new game or that new phone. You want to go outside and play with your friends. You want to read a book or hang out with your family. You want the freedom of choice and the opportunity to have fun. You want happiness. That's really all that anyone wants, to be fair. Some people manage to find it through love, religion, work, in those times between times when you least expect. Nobody's happy all the time. And if they are, tell me so I can ask them because I'm looking at my student homepage right now. I got like 4 assignments to get through and I'm not feeling that happiness right now. I feel a shortage of time. Like I might be wasting it. And that's the funny thing about time. It always seems to slip away from you in pursuit of something you've been meaning to do but never really got around to doing. Something that you wanted to do, or at least you thought you did. I wrote this script months ago, and I've been slowly rereading it and adding things to it. It's been months since spring finals came and went. I've been done with those classes and those assignments. But does that give me the right to sit in my chair for 14 hours a day playing some BS game? Even now, months done with my first year of college and even some summer classes, I'm still playing games all the time while procrastinating writing essays for things that I feel do matter, like scholarships and awards that could benefit me long term. not this short-term Pascalian diversion. So I find myself here again, at the more philosophical terms and writing the script. In the Pascalian sense, diversions are something that we need to distract us, to keep our psyche from completely collapsing when we have those moments of introspection, looking into our own wretchedness. We spent a lot of time doing futile tasks, engaging in these divertissements pascaliens. The pushing rock is a metaphor, if you didn't get it yet. It is a meaningless task, yet we're the ones who give it meaning. It always was and forever will be an absurd struggle, and yet it is something we all have to live with. Every day we push our own stones. Sometimes we even make our own stones. Suicide and death is admittedly an option, but not the only one. We can choose to accept our situation and compromise. We can take pride and joy in the meaninglessness and push that stone because only we can do it. In short, Pascal says that pushing that stone is a distraction. And Camus argues that it's precisely why we need to push that stone, because it is in pushing that stone that we feel happiness through the act of rebelling against what should be considered punishment. No, it's not masochism, it's complex philosophy that even I might not have gotten completely correct here. But why? A professor I respect a lot once told me that the first few lines of Don Quixote can be translated to mean two different things in their original Spanish. En un lugar de la Mancha, de cuyo nombre no quiero acordarme. Quiero. ¿Quieres? No. Quiero. To want, usually. But in this case, it can mean two things, like I said. Don't want to or unable to. No quiero acordarme. Do I want to remember or can't quite remember? Why do I keep remembering this? What am I working towards? What is the goal? I'm sitting here playing mindless games, mindless activities, and mindless shows. Doom scrolling, brain rotting, slowly deteriorating. What's the point? What's the point? The goal? The end post? The determination to get there? The next thing you want to buy, the next weight you want to bench, the next rank, next assignment, next grade, next work goal, next thing, next happiness. Take Epicurus. No, not that Epicurus, that's Epicurean. The Greek philosopher, yes, him. Dude was in pain. He developed kidney stones, again, yes, with the stones. And if you didn't know, those hurt a lot. Nevertheless, he still preached his philosophy and was pretty at peace and content when nothing was hurting his body. He separated desires into categories. Natural, necessary desires, natural but non-necessary desires, and vain and empty desires. Necessary is in reference to necessary stuff like food, shelter, and even procreation in some instances. Epicurus says that it is not only necessary to fulfill these desires to live, but to have some form of happiness as well. It is in satisfying these desires, even if only temporarily, that we can experience a bit of happiness. That is where the Epicurean lifestyle comes from. However, he does not really say to go out and party all day. Again, he lived a pretty reserved life and suffered a lot of pain from his kidney stones. He thinks that vain desires for things like power and wealth can never truly be quenched, and it is for that reason we should try to eliminate or suppress them as much as possible. To him, happiness is in peace. It requires tranquility, freedom from fear, and the absence of pain. Happiness is the end, and tranquility is somewhat the means. Take it as repose, as a temporary emptiness from your emptiness. What is your goal when the post seems to be moving further and further away? What does all mean? What is happening? Why? Why? Why does this all matter? Because, honestly, not totally sure, but I am trying to help you understand something that took me a hot minute to wrap my head around. And that is, it doesn't matter. And this isn't my way of justifying not doing those 4 assignments I mentioned earlier. I will still do them, I already did, but I will do them when I force myself to, but not right now because I am wasting my time. Or am I? So let me ask you again, what is a waste of time? Is it watching this video? Probably, maybe. Depends if you enjoyed it and if it helped you in any way. At least to me, this video was a joy to make, even though it still felt like a waste of time to make, simply because there are other things I really could or really should be doing. That is how it goes for most people. There's always something out there to do to make, something better to do. But you know what? That's okay. It's all about time. You can do what you want with your time, and ultimately you decide if it's something that you want to spend your time on. And you decide if it is a waste of time. It's okay to take a break, to stop and smell the roses. Does it make you happy? Does it matter that it makes you happy? Is this video a waste of time? Yes, yes, and yes. Thank you anyways, and thanks for listening and stopping by. So go ahead and push your own stones, people. Oh, and one more thing. I heard this quote recently and I kind of liked it. Photos are like memories in a tea bag. Soak that tea bag for too long and feelings of bitterness arise. So make sure you make new memories and take new photos. That way, you won't be bitter. So thanks, and make sure to enjoy what you have now, and push your own stones. So maybe this video wasn't totally meaningless, well, at least to me. Thank you, and have a good one.